Thank you, Madam Chair, for recognizing me. Thank you for the panel here to talk through this important issue. We've certainly been very focused in New Jersey on what we can do for our veterans there. And as someone who's on this small business committee, this has been a big part of what we focused on. Now, one angle that we tried to go at this from is, we were looking at this Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, signed into law, all these different opportunities that are going to be available to build up across our country. I introduced some bipartisan legislation called the Build Veterans Business Act, which would set a 3% veteran-owned small business contracting goal for federal transportation projects, including construction, manufacturing, and professional services like architecture and engineering. This falls under the Department of Transportation, not SBA, but I wanted to ask this panel here, what can SBA and other federal partners do better to support veteran-owned businesses that want to compete for federal contracts? I feel like this is an opportunity that we haven't been able to dive in as deep on, and wanted to get your perspective.
I'll take a first swing at that one. And I think the set-aside incentives that exist already now at DOD and VA and at many state levels, I think those are important opportunity creators. I also know from my past experience as a DOD procurement official that one of the challenges is many small businesses and veteran-owned businesses as well face real barriers to, it's why for many years DOD never met its set-aside goal, because they couldn't find qualified, in their definition, qualified veteran-owned businesses to engage in procurement actions. The opportunity to get this right, you have to also engage prime contractors. You have to extend those set-aside goals as an obligation to the large prime contractors and create an apprenticeship kind of relationship between small and growing ventures and those large prime contractors, so that there's an opportunity to sort of cultivate and nurture these small businesses as they begin to take on federal contracts. Because if not done well, you actually could do more harm to those small businesses than opportunity creating. That's my view.
May I add something, please? So the VA is now releasing the verification for service disabled veteran-owned and veteran-owned small businesses is going over to the SBA. So ensuring that all federal government agencies now adhere more to the law of that, whereas at the VA, they tend to have 20 to 25% of their dollars spent with service disabled veterans. However, they've been able to not meet the women requirement at 5%. So that clearly shows that they're not awarding as much or looking more into the women service disabled veterans as far as even at the VA. But the value of now going across the SBA is going to be great, because now every agency should be adhering to the law of the new rules coming out of SBA for the veterans.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And also, we should increase it to 5%.
Sure. One thing I wanted to kind of connect the dots on here is, a lot of how we've been trying to get small businesses to understand some of these opportunities, has been about some of these different organizations. For instance, the U.S. Coalition of State Veteran Chambers of Commerce, has members in 20 different states, including New Jersey. We've been able to work with this group on the ground in New Jersey to help a lot of these veteran-owned businesses understand some of these different opportunities available. So I guess I just wanted to end on asking, do any of your organizations partner with these state veteran chambers? And how can they better work with you to be able to maximize their opportunities here?
We're looking. So I think, sir, the short answer is yes. As the saying goes, business is local, and one of the things that we are constantly advising veterans that go through our business ownership programs is to connect local, make connections with local chambers of commerce, state-level chambers of commerce, particularly as it relates to entities that have been created around underserved communities, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, for example. So I think, one of the themes that has come across, I think, this panel is the importance of networks. And we drive that home at every opportunity, and that the extent to which local networks can be cultivated is extremely important.
Thank you. I'll yield back to the chair.